Hi there, this is the 2019 forecast for Capricorn Risings, and this whole year up until the very end in December, you will have Jupiter in your 12th house in Sagittarius. And Jupiter is the planet of expansion and optimism and growth in whatever area it's highlighting for us. And for you, it's in an interesting part of the sky because it's in a house relating to the subconscious mind, hidden matters, isolation. In traditional astrology, this 12th house related to both prisons and ashrams. Those are just really archetypal examples of what the 12th house can symbolize in our lives, which means that you may find a lot of doors opening in terms of spirituality and withdrawing within yourself to have realizations from the inside rather than opportunities on the outside. So I know that's not traditionally what you think of when you think of abundance or of growth and development, but it can be a really, really important pivotal time for you to find the abundance within and the growth that can be done on a quieter, less noticeable basis. And that Jupiter in your 12th house will be square Neptune in your 3rd house. So really great way that these planets in conversation could play out is that all your spiritual insights and the benefits you're getting from really deep introspection and sitting with yourself could remove blockages in the way that you communicate with the world. It could allow you to remove any limitations in the way that you express yourself verbally, or another thing the 3rd house can signify siblings and short-term travels. So somehow the insights that you're getting on your own can bleed into that area of life as well. But a risk of this transit is that you're spending so much time going within and dealing with yourself that you then dissolve some of your communicative abilities, or some travel plans or relationships with your siblings then suffer as a result. So make sure that you are dissolving boundaries, not removing structures and relationships that are in place for a reason. Last year, Uranus moved into Taurus in your 5th house, and then it retrograded back into Aries, but this year in the spring it will be firmly moving forward in the sign of Taurus for you. It's a 7-year transit, and so starting this year there'll be 6 years left in that, and it's in a house relating to you about enjoyment, about having fun. The 5th house can represent romance and children and art, and Uranus can represent changes, really spontaneous developments, radical thinking, changes in direction. So you can expect that in the area of enjoyment and having fun and putting forth creativity, whether that's with others and the way you relate to them, or that's, in an actual artistic form, you can expect to have a change in the way that you interact with the world in that regard in the years to come. Saturn and Pluto are also together in your 1st house in Capricorn, and they have been there for a little over a year together, but this will continue for the next few years. So you're familiar with this energy, and it's an energy of bringing in some challenges and some obstacles that overall will benefit you to transform it into the most authentic, most functional version of yourself, because they're in the house of you, so they're relating to what changes you need to make in your self-identity in order to grow and develop. And it can seem really intense, like a lot is being thrown at you, and like you're not getting a break, and that life is really serious and really treating you with a lot of responsibility and expecting a lot from you. But overall, know that you're going through kind of like a pressure cooker right now, so that you can come out a lot more whole and integrated and secure in who you are on the other side, because this is a transit that not a lot of people get to experience, and it can seem like at times you understand why, but know that you are getting to experience a lot of lessons and learn and grow so much where other people may never understand that intensity and understand how much there is to progress in this life. So that's an ongoing transit that will be in effect for the next few years, especially this particular year. The eclipses for this year will be taking place in your 1st and 7th houses. So the collective illumination is going to be taking place involving you. You are definitely going to be a focus. This is going to be a focal point in your life. This specific point with Saturn and Pluto in your sign, with the eclipses going on, there's a lot happening to you, and it can be really overwhelming. So it's important to keep in mind that this is asking you to consider the role that you play in parallel to the opposite of this axis of 1st and 7th house, which is relationships and the other, and how you interact with other parties and other situations. So think about not only how you are working on yourself during this time and all the really intense, really beautiful growth that's happening for you, but how that's happening in relation to the way that you're interacting with others and how you can display and demonstrate your new authentic self with your interactions with others. And then at the very end of this year, December 2nd, Jupiter will move into your first house. And this transit will mostly apply for 2020, but get excited because Jupiter, the planet of expansion and growth and optimism, is going to move out of the more internal, soft 12th house into the forefront when it's shining on you. So December, you can expect opportunities to come forth relating to you in your life. So that's something to look forward to. The 3 Mercury retrogrades for this year start out on March 5th through 28th. It will be retrograde in your 3rd house in Pisces, meaning that Mercury will be in its detriment. It'll be in a sign it's not particularly functional or comfortable in a house relating to communication for you. So just be wary that March maybe isn't the best time to sign contracts, have really major things that need to get done. It could be a bit slow, a bit snafu ridden. Then July 7th, Mercury is retrograde in your 8th house in Leo. So dealing with other people's money during the month of July or do anything tax related, I don't know when tax season is. Maybe not the best time for that. Okay. Then October 31st, Mercury will be retrograde in your 11th house, and this means that communication regarding large groups, your social life, organizations you're a part of, things that the 11th house represents, might just not be coming into fruition the way that you planned during November. So overall, this year allows for a lot of internal growth and a lot of necessary changes to be made that can be really difficult and may seem painful, but overall have your best interest and most aligned self in mind. I like to keep in the back of my mind the thought that things are happening for you, not to you. There is a light at the end of the tunnel, especially if you look for it. I hope you found this helpful. I do private consultations at the link below. Otherwise, like, subscribe, do all the things, and I will see you soon.